So today we are going to be building the perfect beginner's garden. Now we're going to be using this 40 by 20 garden that I have right here for the sake of this video. This is going to be heavily inspired by the video I did this Tuesday, which was building the perfect chicken flock for beginners, except this time it's just going to be my garden instead of chickens. But before we get into this, be sure to go down below, click the like and subscribe button. We're trying to reach 4,000 before May 15th, which is a stretch, but I think I can easily do it with your help. So let's jump right into this. Let's first start off obviously using this space that we currently have right here designated for my strawberries and blueberries. Now for the sake of this video, this is what I'm going to be using. You may or may not have this amount of space in your yard, so you can adjust this to scale as much as you want. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to be using this 40 by 20 garden right here. And this is going to be the extent of everything. We're not going to have corn up there in the fields or a separate pumpkin patch, because I would assume that you don't want to waste your valuable property on keeping corn and pumpkins outside of your garden like what we did. We're actually going to be keeping them in the garden this year, surprisingly, so that's something to look forward to in the short-term future. But anyways, let's first start off by designating us a strawberry patch, which is right here. This is actually going to be a strawberry patch, so we're going to be waiting until, I don't know, around May 15th to get into here and do all this right here. But for the time being, this is going to be our strawberry patch, assuming this garden. Now how about we go right over here? Right over here, we're going to obviously need to weed all this, but before we do all of that, let's just first start off by saying this whole area of the garden right here, we're going to designate this to eggplants. This is going to be eggplants right here, and we can go right down the middle here with multiple plants. We could do, I don't know, 2 rows of tomatoes, a row of peppers, a row of zucchini, and I don't know, something else here, like just something random. We could do corn right there and maybe pumpkins right here or something. This is all just made up on the spot. This isn't like a serious plan or anything like that. We're just building a great garden for beginners, and that's a great thing that you can do right there. Now let's talk about whether or not we actually want to have an irrigation system built in or not. Now most irrigation systems are around $300 to install for this size of a garden right here, so it's going to scale down the price a little bit to around $180 to $220 if you want to do an installation on a garden of around 40 by 20. And if you want to have an even smaller garden, then you might even wind up having an even smaller cost. If you want to find out how to build the perfect irrigation system, you should click this video up here in the top right corner of your screen. It basically just goes through all the basics, and you can even find me actually building an irrigation system at the end screen of that video. So you can decide if you want to water the garden the old-fashioned way or just have an irrigation system. All you just have to do is just turn it on with the hose pipe and you're good to go. So all that in mind, it's really up to you if you want to go through the hassle of building an irrigation system that's extensive, or if you just want to sit down and do it yourself. Now what we actually had in the 2020 gardening season was we actually kind of had an irrigation system, but you actually had to be out there to watch it, and it was much faster than an actual irrigation system. It was literally just a PVC pipe with a bunch of holes screwed into it. Basically you attach it to the hose and it'll water the plants directly where it is, but you have to move it manually, and we only had one, and we did not have the hose nozzle that's down there behind the pool area, so it was a bit inconvenient, but it worked, and I'm not complaining whatsoever because it was actually quite genius considering we had a smaller space garden and we weren't quite yet ready to build a large expansive irrigation system like what we did in the 2021 gardening season. Now finally, since we have a smaller garden, maintenance should be a lot easier. So obviously we're going to get in here in the near future. We're going to do a lot of weeding in here, and maintenance will be pretty easy, especially considering we're not having a garden of this size. But if you want to maintain a nice looking garden, you're going to kind of need to make sure there's just no weeds on the interior of the garden, and if there are, you need to remove it. The exterior of the garden, that's completely up to you, but this season I want to do a lot of weed whacking and just general weeding around the outside of the garden, just so that way it looks nice and so that way nothing gets into the garden in the meantime. Be sure to click this video here in the center of the screen, which is actually kind of my first garden update, which also somehow guides you to gardening success for this season seamlessly. I'll see you in that video, guys. I had to send the intro. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 4K by the 15th. We can do it. I have faith. Let's get out of here.